Oh, the Christmas season is upon us for sure. The cold, frosty air outside, the possibility of snowfall, snowfall. And, oh, by gosh, by golly, it's time for mistletoe and holly. Yes, it is. How many of you have mistletoe hung in your house? It's been a long time since I put mistletoe in my house. Don't have anyone to mistletoe anything with, but wouldn't that be cool? Anyway, I've got a few words that people used to use at Christmas time. So, more old-fashioned words, but hey, who's to say you can't use them still? The first one is ram-racketing. It means to run and leap, kind of like lords are leaping, right? But this is more like that the excitement that we kids used to get when on Christmas morn. Yay! That's ram-racketing. I still get a little bit that way, huh? On Christmas Day. The second one is quam-quat. That's that horrible feeling you get when you're full and you feel like, you're out here. Oh, I'm sure a lot of us over the holidays will be overquat. I said quamquat. It's overquat, excuse me. And Christmas tide. That sounds so Christmassy, doesn't it? And it means Christmas time, but it's a fancier way of saying it. It's Christmas tide, right? That makes the whole scene sound like you should see sleigh going through the snow, than the old-fashioned pictures, Christmas tide. Carolers of the side. I still need to get a few people together for that. I love Christmas caroling. I've been a couple of times. I'm sure many of you have. Bubbly Jock. Bubbly Jock. That is a bog standard male turkey. So, how many of you will have a Bubbly Jock on Christmas? Like you haven't gotten enough of that on Thanksgiving. Now here comes Christmas, turkey time again, or pheasant, ham, chicken, or whatever you eat. And hug-em-a-dog. I love that. I love that word. Hug-em-a-dog. Sounds like hug-em-a-dog, right? Hug-em-a-dog. And it simply means the giant ball of snow you get when you start to roll a snowball on the ground. It's sort of the foundation for your snowman. So, if you build a snowman, you have to have a hug-em-a-dog. Such a funny word. Snow broth. Oh yes, the lovely snow broth. That, of course, many people can probably guess. That's like the slush. As they say, that milky, that slush. They use slush for it. The snow and water, along with a little mud, But still, in order to have slush, you gotta have snow. So, bring on the slush. Here, crawmassing. That is the tidying up of the leftover food, when you get a little bit overquat. And then later on, you're tidying up the food and putting the food away. And whilst you're doing that, you take little pieces here and there before you put it in the refrigerator. That is crawmassing. Yeah, such a long word for that, huh? Snacking, right. Fayol, I think I said that right. It's an old Scottish word for a light dusting of snow. We all might get a fayol by tomorrow morning. That would be nice, huh? I want more than a light dusting, but I'll take that than 0. And kissing bough, right, kissing bough. That's the precursor to mistletoe. It was a popular tradition back in the day, back in the Tudor times. In homes, they had a round ball of twigs and foliage they decorated the house with seasonal fruit such as apples or something. And it was hung on the walls and doorways, la la la. We have that today, really, kind of. Most, sometimes you can get it at the flower store, and sometimes you can get it in that little plastic thing. But there, that's where it started. But back in the day, it was real. So, and waits. That's the early Middle Ages. That's what they used to call a band of musicians that a town or city had. You know, in other words, they were sort of like the little group of carolers they had that would go around and wake up sort of people, make them sort of festive and happy, because in wintertime you had a lot of those dark and gray days where people would, you know, be a little bit, these people would put the festive back in a town. So then they eventually abolished it in 1835. Oh, what a shame. But carolers took over then. Now we have a blinky, which is a 15th century term for snow flurries. So maybe we'll have a blinky. If we don't have a fayol, a light dusting of snow, maybe we'll at least have a blinky or blinky, or however they said it. A few flurries coming down. But I want to see it or it doesn't count. Just saying. Rumball or rumball night. That's what they used to call another word for Christmas Eve. And Ningwood means snow cover. Yes, I want it Ningwood out there, snow covered. Hey, if it's gonna be cold, I want the snow with it. Just say. Crump or crumping. That is the crunching sound made walking through snow. Yes, I made a lot of these with snow. Hey, that's Christmassy, right? And Yule hole. Sounds a little bit, Yule hole? No, I'm just kidding. It means the hole you need to move, right? When you've gotten a little overquat and you need to loosen the belt, put it to another hole, they call that the Yule hole. You have to move it to the Yule hole. Funny. And belly cheer. That's a term used for gluttonous eating, of course. You know, when you want to be overquat, you know, another term, belly cheer. Toe cover, a cheap and totally useless present. How many of you get toe covers? You know what? If somebody is nice enough to give you a present, be happy and gracious about it. Earlier, my aunt, bless her, came over and gave my son and I a nice holiday cake. No, not fruit cake. It was white icing and all that, but it had it was decorated with green and red for the Christmassy look. It was a yellow cake with white frosting. So good. No, we still have a lot of it still there, but that was so, and it was just a small size, just for my, enough for my son and I. These are the things to be thankful for. And even if you didn't have them, just to have family, just to smile, open the door, just a lot of lovely things. And the church I used to go to got together, and they gave my son and I a new microwave. Ours had been broke for a long time. And I've been meaning, of course, to get a new one. I've just sort of put it off, because they're not overly expensive, but there's other things one needs first. But they did get us one. And I'm thankful for people like that, So it doesn't matter what something costs, though. Just be happy someone thought of you at all. Okay. Crapulence. The morning after feeling like you overate. In other words, the morning after you were overquat. And you overate or drank or both too much, That morning after feeling, Crapulence. Cute new word, huh? Have crapulence, Bound. To bound is to decorate something with evergreen branches at Christmas time. I wonder really how many people, I'm sure there are people out there, but I wonder how many really do that these days, like they used to all the time back in the day. But how many people really go out there and just cut down little tiny branches and stuff and decorate their house? I'm sure there's some of you that could say, well, I still do that one, and that is good. But a lot of people, let's face it, we go out sometimes and we just buy that, right? Or even at a flower shop or something, or a garden center. We often don't take time to go into nature and just do it ourselves. People used to have to go down and cut their trees. Now sometimes people have fake trees, like me, but I've had it for a long time, and it still brings cheer into the house. I'm not saying anything against that. But if you can be one of those who actually are able to go out and do these things, that is great. That is great. Yule Starn. A noticeably bright star, in the sky, Yule Starn. It does have starn, an N at the end of it. A noticeably bright star in the sky on Christmas night. So if you go out on Christmas night and you notice a noticeably bright star, I'm pretty sure you can find one if you're looking somewhere. That's what they call a Yule Starn. Very, very cool. And Bull Week, an old Yorkshire dialect name for the week before Christmas, which we're on. I think it had to do with some kind of getting some kind of like a bowl for Christmas or something, if you're able to like finish things before Christmas at a certain time. I don't really know about the exact tradition in there. And for the last word, Merry Night. It's an 18th century party held in the public house, of course, at Christmas time, called Merry Night. Wow, that's creative. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I just wanted to wish everyone a pretty happy, merry, jolly, good old Christmas. Old-fashioned if you can do it, because those were the days. Maybe you could use some of this terminology, impress some of your friends at these parties. And most importantly, have a wonderful time and be safe. And yes, I am going to still have a few things probably before Christmas. But I just want to wish everyone a happy, Merry Christmas, and over and out. Ho, ho, ho.